So, what advice do you have for young professionals who are getting out there, either looking for a job, looking for, an internship or something? What advice do you have for less experienced professionals out there?
Oh, good. Well, so there's I would say do a lot of reading. You read to lead, and so I think like looking into books in your field, books maybe that interest you, books just for fun. Reading is a definite asset, and I think it's a habit that you should form early on. And so I would say read to lead, and then I would say cast your net wide early on and narrow it as you go. So there's two books that I would recommend. One is called Range, the other is called Essentialism. And Range is all about casting a really wide net, focusing on a lot of different things. Essentialism is about paring down and focusing once you find that thing that really gets you going and gets you're passionate about. And so I think like early on, cast a really wide net, go wide, try a lot of different things, set up coffee dates, do professional lunches, get together with folks, but don't wait for other people to make the first move. I would say make it happen.
Yes.
And if you see something that you like, reach out to that person and say, hey, I respect or admire your leadership. I admire what you're doing. Can we grab coffee? And connecting with people that way and building a network is incredibly beneficial, not even just necessarily for a job, but those kind of connections. Actually, connections are one of the single biggest determiners of your overall health. So when you think about someone's health and how well where they're at in terms of their overall health, that social connection piece is one of the biggest indicators. And there's like if people have less social connections, their rate of mortality actually increases.
Wow.
And that's significant. And so when you think about blue zones and creating healthy communities, having that good social interconnection is incredibly important. So I'd say cast a wide net early on, narrow it up later, focus on your social network, and then being generous. Like give because you want to give and because you're generous, not just because you expect to get something back. People can smell if you try and attach strings or things to things. People can sense that out pretty early on. So I think being authentic and tying that in. And then I would say too, a great piece of advice I heard was, you can get into something and learn it, and then it can become your passion later. I don't think you have to chase after your passion right away. I think that's sort of misguided advice sometimes, is chase your passion. And it's like, well, you can develop passion as you get into something you're doing, and you can kind of seek it out and find ways to connect meaning into what you're doing as you're in that experience.
Wonderful, wonderful. Any last word? We have about 15 more seconds. Any last word?